The other thing to always remember is that the insurer's objective is to do what they have to under the policy and settle this claim at the lowest cost possible. You know? Now, that's not an evil motive, it's an inevitable motive. It's what any commercial entity would do in the same situation. That's why, for instance, if they come across a house that might have a leaky building risk, and there's more in Christchurch than we like to admit, they'll almost always cash settle it if they can. And I'll talk about cash settlements again later. But it doesn't give them the entitlement to place projects on hold when things aren't going as they like. You know, when they start putting foundations down and realise that they've designed inadequate foundations, or where they open up a house and they just discover that it's got leaking problems. The other thing to note is this, that insurers essentially have two options. One is say to you, well, actually, we want to make this your problem, you go and fix it and we'll pay, or we're going to take ownership of this problem, we're going to fix it and we'll pay. Okay, so essentially two options. Insurers don't quite like that. They like a middle ground where they say, well, we'd like you to take the building risk and the problems of a building contract and we'll pay for it. So here's the building contract you have to sign. So anyone been signing building contracts? Not yet? Well, you're not there yet, but this is the next stage. When you finally get to a repair, you get presented with a building contract. And all the insurers treat it a little bit differently. Sometimes it's a three-way contract, the insurer, the builder and you. Sometimes it's just you and the builder. Very rarely indeed is it the insurer and the builder, which is arguably what it should be. Be very cautious when you're signing those building contracts, because that's probably, there's a whole lot of potential risk and liability in there. For example, you probably might have seen the newspaper recently, and I don't know the details of that case, of the homeowner whose builder went broke. So who takes the payment risk? What happens if you sign a building contract with your builder and then the insurer says, no, we've made a mistake, we've decided not to pay that much? You've got a contract with the builder to pay the builder, the insurer's not going to pay you. That would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? So, you've got to be acutely aware of those risks. Now, most of they're all outside risks. They're highly unlikely to crystallise. But, I can guarantee that someone in this room will have a debacle of a building contract problem one day. Because in a room of this many people and this many building contracts, it's going to happen. So look very carefully at those building contracts. If you don't take advice on anything else, do take advice on that. Have your building contract reviewed. The point is this, and we've gone to insurers and said, these clauses really aren't appropriate given what's going on here. Some insurers will adjust the terms of the building contracts. Others will say, so what? Take it all. Everyone else signs it. Now, so we've got to essentially understand what we're going to do when we come up against that brick wall.